Good morning. It is still December. I guess it's the 30th, 31st. Boy, we're getting along. I'm out here a little later than normal. We had to run to the cabin this morning. Make sure everything was okay down there at the river. And it's a little later for me to come out and shoot olive oil than I usually do, but it is time now. I usually hold 3 arrows. Now, I guess I've showed you this before, but I don't use a quiver. I don't need a quiver. I can carry 3 arrows like this as comfortably and shoot actually better. The reason that I shoot better this way is because I have to hold the arrows very delicately, and it causes me to not have a lot of tension on the bow when I shoot. I've proved that over and over again. I shoot better holding the arrows than I do with a quiver. Okay, going over here. I'm gonna shoot olive oil this morning. Oh, I know, I'm sorry. Let me get the brace height checked. Let me borrow Debbie's ruler here. She carries that ruler with her. All right, we are at we are under 7.5. We are at 7 3/8 today. We may twist the string just a little bit, but let me see how this works up here at 7 3/8. And we have our adoring chickens here. They are very anxious to that's an amazing animal, I'm telling you. These chickens and ducks, I'll tell you what, chickens and ducks are God's gift to the homesteader. I want you to look at them. Look at how busy they are out there. You don't have to ask them to find them something to eat. They have microscopic eyes, or ability, microscopes, and they can see tiny little diatoms and other little creatures in the dirt, and they scratch it and they find that stuff and eat it, and they will do it all day long. You do not have to prompt them. You do not have to ask them. Look at that one right there scratching. That, see, she's finding stuff to eat. Scratch a little more, baby. She's getting all that stuff. They have to eat those little diatoms, or those little tiny microscopic shelled creatures, to get enough calcium to lay their eggs. If you're out there in the world and you're thinking about chickens, I say it's God's gift to the homesteader. You can eat their eggs, and if push comes to shove, you can eat them. All right, there they are. Okay, back to the 7 3/8 brace height. Oh, it's in the heart. Only the first shot counts, and that one was there. We got about 15 days left of deer season here. It's warm today. It's in the 60s. Now, we were down into the 15-degree and wind chill at 0 last week. And I did not go hunting. We were just trying to stay warm. Olive oil apparently is feeling well this morning. All right. But anyway, we've got about 15 days, I think, to about the middle of January for our deer season. I'll take that grouping. Okay. Now I would like to talk about something spiritual, but I'm kind of waiting for something to pop in my mind. And I want to thank the people out there that are watching me and commenting and giving me encouragement. Maybe you're getting something out of my bow and arrow talk, and it's more important to me to talk about Yeshua, Jesus, and the Bible, but this kind of gives me something to do. It's kind of like a prop, you know, back in the, you've heard the old comedians, you know, Jack Benny and all the different ones, they always had a prop. They would hold something like a violin, or Groucho Marx had to have a cigar in his hand, and I guess I have to have a bow in my hand to give me a prop. But I'll tell you what I do want to tell you about, and that's how to treat people when you talk to them about spiritual matters. I had to go to a hardware store today. I found out I'm probably not going to shoot again on camera because I'm probably not going to do any better than that. But I met a guy at the hardware store. Around his neck he had a pentagram, 5-sided star, and above that a skull thing. He was trying to help me, you know, with my plumbing problem. And I asked him, I said, hey, what is that you got around your neck? Well, I knew it was a pentagram, and I knew the thing looked like a skull. And I knew it wasn't a cross, and I knew it probably was not going to be about Christianity. So he told me, he said basically, hey, I'm a pagan. Well, I tried my best not to judge him and not to do in any way anything that would make him resist getting to know me or really being a friend. So I talked to him about it a little bit. You know, Hope, what is that all about? I said, how long have you been a pagan? And how did you get to... And he opened up to me. He just opened up and told me the whole story. And he read it in a book, and he thought it was the way to go. And I asked him, is there, you know, what happens when you die? And what do the pagan teach? There's a sort of heaven, he said. And there's a sort of hell, he said. If you do wrong, you're going to get punished. And I said, it'd be kind of like karma. Yes, he said. So I kept it that way. I never told him that I believed in Christ. I never told him I believed in Yeshua. I just let him talk, and we got on very well with me accepting him without judging him. How do I know whether he's going to eventually be one of us? I don't know that. I was probably worse than a pagan. I didn't even have a good reason for doing the bad things I did. So what I want to say is, when you witness to people, when you declare the name of the Lord to people, judging them and getting them riled up and making them think you're against them, I don't think you're going to get anywhere like that. They need to think of you as a person that is judging them fairly, you know. And I listened to him. He could tell I was listening to him. I didn't agree with the things he was saying, but I didn't fight him about it. And then I did suggest, I said, well, he told me he read a book about that, paganism. And I said, well, could I suggest a book to you? Yeah. And I said, it's actually about the ancient gods or the pagan gods. And I said, there's a book called The Return of the Gods by Jonathan Cahn. Cahn is, I think, C-A-H-N, Jonathan Cahn. He's a Messianic Jewish teacher or rabbi. I highly recommend Jonathan Cahn. If you want to, I think he's one of the top, absolute top ones out there. And he's a great writer too. So I told him the name, got him to write it down. Maybe he'll look at it, maybe he won't. I don't know. But I didn't get antagonistic with him. I asked a few pointed questions like, do the pagans do bad things like child sacrifice? Oh, no, they don't do that. He said, that's all attributed to them, but it's all a lie. They don't do anything like that. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But I guess what I'm saying is that I'm going to try to go for the, I'm going to try the hard one now. I'm going to try to go for the fabled Enmark cup. The hardest target that you can possibly shoot at. I'm going to see if I can get it 3 times. I'd say I better be trying to just try to hit it once. But the other day I managed to actually nail it 3 times. Let's just see what I can do. Hey, and another thing, if this doesn't work out, I can always cut it out of the video. Okay, olive oil. Sometime I just call her Olive for short. I don't have to say olive oil. When I'm a little perturbed with her, I say olive oil. But this is Olive. I scared the heck out of that cup. It didn't stick in, but it pushed it over. All right, olive oil. I go blaming the bow. It's not the bow, it's me. Oh, that was pitiful. Show it. Okay, I'm not going to cut it out. I guess it shows that you think it might be that 7 3/8 instead of 7 1/2. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this over here and twist it up to 7 1/2 brace height, and I'm going to try that again. That's not going to prove anything, but I think I'll do it. I'll be back with you in just a minute. All right, let's see if we can get this brace height changed just a little bit. This is just my way of doing it. I pull it off at the bottom and I twist it back towards me. 1, 2, I'm just going to bring it 2 little twists. And let's see if that, look at that, I got my glove stuck on there. Come off of there. All right. Hold that thing out like that when you string it. Reach down there and feel it. If it springs out, it's going to go that way. You know, a lot of people have been hurt not getting their bow completely strung properly. See, if you hold it like that and the string slips, it'll go that way towards you. Now let's see about this, what I did by twisting it 2 times. All right, it's on 7 1/2 now. I could have gone one little tiny bit more, but it's a lot closer. Now let's see what happens now. Oh, goodness. That last one was a premature release. But those first two, right there, they were tight. That was definitely not the bow's fault. Let me shoot this up one again. I jerked and let go. All right, come on. Come on, Olive, get in that thing. All right, that last one I wasn't even sure I hit. It went in the hole and didn't make any noise. Do I think that changing that brace height to 7.5 from 7 3/8 was responsible for this? I don't know. It might have been that I just started concentrating more. All right, that's I guess about all I got to say right now. Let's think about how we talk to people when we do talk to them. Let's talk to them how we would want to be talked to. With some kind of respect. If they belong to God, let me tell you this, if they ultimately belong to God, Jesus is not going to lose them. He promised that all that were placed in his hands, all of the sheep that were placed in his hands, he would not lose one of them. Kind of let the Spirit guide you, of course, what you say. But jumping all over people, it may have its place and sometimes, but generally speaking, I try really hard to treat people with respect and respect their ideas and their right to have those ideas, even though I don't agree with those. I don't think paganism is the correct way. I believe Yeshua, Jesus, and what we know of as Christianity is the correct route to salvation. Okay, this is Gardener Israel signing off.